everyone, I am Rhea May P. Martinez together with my group mates, Mr. Cesar Barnachea, Miss Joanne Labuyan, Miss Mahalaysa Labuyan, Miss Annalyn Mayo, Miss Eden J. Marino, and Miss Camille Militar. We are about to show you the distributive efforts of Group 1 in accomplishing our activity numbers 1, 2, 6 in FS2. Have fun watching! At the end of this learning activity, the FS students should be able to recall the different parts of an action research, prepare and write an action research plan, submit the proposed action research plan. Observation. Directions. Below are the parts of an action research. Prepare your research plan by describing what you will do to come up with an excellent classroom-based action research. The description of our plan and situation. Based on our previous observation, we will select the greatest that demonstrates definite characteristics while overcoming challenges encountered in the context of the learning environment. The problems they face will provide us with an opportunity to conduct research and respond quickly with a solution. The scenario chosen will serve as a guide in developing an effective classroom-based action research. In preliminaries, approval sheet, acknowledgement, table of contents, and abstract. In approval sheet, we will use the approval sheet provided by the instructor who validated and approval our action paper. Acknowledgement, we will express our gratitude to those who contributed to the paper and the stakeholders who serve as our guides. Table of contents. All sections of our action research will be included with their corresponding pages and organized chronologically. Abstract. It is a concise summary of our research paper in which an overview of our classroom-based action research is presented. In the introduction, background of the study and significance of the study. Our study's introduction shows readers and reviewers why our research topic is worth reading and why it deserves their attention. It provides a background for our study, introduces the topic and goals, and provides an overview of our action paper. The importance of our research is a written statement that explains why our research was necessary. It justifies the significance of our work, its impact on our research field, its contribution to new knowledge, and how others will benefit from it. Problem identification. Possible causes, hypothesis. Problem. Identification research identifies the types of problems that we may need to address our action research. To create our classroom-based action research, we will employ a qualitative research design. Generation of alternative solution. In this action, we will look at different ways to respond to a problem situation. This procedure is used to generate a number of potential solutions to a problem from which the most effective approach or combination of approaches can be chosen for implementation. The plan of action, objectives, time frame, target participants. Our objectives state what we hope to accomplish with our action research in general. Our action research time frame is the period to ensure that our action research is completed in the academic year 2022-2023. Presentation and interpretation of data. So in this section, we will present the findings of our action research data collection. We will provide a clear interpretation of the data, and as researchers, we will be perceptive and creative in our interpretation. Findings, conclusions, and recommendations. We will present the findings of our data analysis and the findings of our study. In addition, we kept our suggestion or recommendation from the data that we analyze to give readers and future researchers clear, specific, and realistic suggestions. Reflections, the bibliography and appendices, and curriculum vitae. In this section, we will include a list of books and other sources that we use in preparing our research paper, as well as appendices to help our readers understand our research and curriculum vitae about our educational and academic backgrounds. Do you consider your proposed action research plan beneficial in coming up with an excellent CBAR? Yes. The proponents of our study, we believe that our action research plan is beneficial in developing an excellent CBAR because it identified the challenges being faced in the context of education and address the gaps or attention that need to be filled. It is relevant to the current situation of educational settings and aids in improving the system in which students or learners can learn effectively. It would be difficult for us researchers to work and develop our inter-research without a plan. Plan Execution Part 1. Introduction. LA 1992 found out an international survey of 9,073 schools found that students considered liking reading as the most vital aspect to becoming a competent reader. But poor readers typically do not enjoy reading, and this tends to result in reduced practice and print exposure, exacerbating poor reading skills. Morgan, 1976, studied the one way of assisting with children's delayed literacy development is through interventions such as paired reading. McDonald's 2010 project examined the effectiveness of a more structured approach to PR, where synthetic and analytic approaches to phonics were incorporated. In conclusion of such techniques raises the question of whether this was ended PR. 10 secondary school pupils with a reading age 9 were enrolled in PR following screening with the Scannell reading test. However, this is a word recognition test and is not entirely relevant as Tapping 1995 remarks. An intervention method which revolves around promoting the use of contextual clues is not likely to be relevantly evaluated by reading tests which provide no context. During PR sessions, any word that was not recognized by the tutor was analyzed and studied phonically. Much PR research has been done with small self-selected samples, short-term interventions 8 to 10 weeks, with minimal follow-up and implementation integrity data. Results demonstrated that all pupils improve in reading accuracy, comprehension, and mechanical reading age, but the lack of control group makes it difficult to draw meaningful conclusions. Paired reading is a technique designed for use by parents or peers to improve reading proficiency and is recommended as a suitable grade 3 literacy interventions. It essentially consists of both simultaneous and independent paces of reading. The tutor matches the reading rate to that of the tutor, acting as a prosodic model as they read together. PR or paired reading can be used with a wide range of reading abilities and initially requires frequent use so that the pair become familiar with method. Children undergoing PR typically make 3 times the normal progress in reading accuracy and 5 times the progress in reading comprehension, with evidence to suggest that such gains are sustained over time. Tapping and Lindsay's meta-analysis 1992 found that PR resulted in greater reading accuracy, more fluency, more self-correction behaviors, and to self-esteem. theme is thought to improve with their awareness of enhanced reading ability. In accordance with behaviorist principles, praise is thought to reinforce learning and promote confidence. Paired reading maintains the flow of reading, which allows for semantic access to the text, shifting the focus from word decoding to reading for meaning. Suggests that in spite of non-phonic approach, phonological awareness is improved by the tutor associating by group of letters with their corresponding sounds during simultaneous reading. Individual attention and reading practice are increased in 10 weeks. Some pairs cover the same amount of material that would be covered in school over 86 weeks. Significance of the study. To determine the effectiveness of paired reading in improving the reading level in mother tongue of grade 1 pupils of BAMBAN Elementary School. General statement of the problem. This action research aims to improve the reading level in mother tongue of grade 1 through paired reading. Specifically, it seeks to answer the following questions. Number 1. What is the level of effectiveness of paired reading in improving the reading level in mother tongue of grade 1 pupils of BAMBAN Elementary School? Number 2. What is the level of paired reading in mother tongue of grade 1 before the intervention? And number 3. What is the level of paired reading in the mother tongue of grade 1 after the intervention?
Part 2. Problem Identification. Possible causes. After a thorough review of some articles related to our action research problem, we, the researcher, identified many possible causes of reading difficulties. These causes were less parental involvement in the child's learning, inappropriate materials or technique used by the teachers, unbalanced teacher-pupil ratio inside the classroom, extreme poverty, ineffective public school due to lacking of funds for the learning facilities and materials, the unpreparedness for the students to learn, poor phonological awareness, and working memory problems. From the above-mentioned possible causes of reading difficulties, we believe that there are 3 causes that are probable in relation to the pupils. These are, first, extreme poverty, second, poor phonological awareness, third is less parental involvement in the child's learning. One of the causes is poverty. Parents are spending more time in providing the basic needs of the family, making them too busy that they could not be able to supervise and be involved in the school activities for their children. Few of the children also forced to work rather than to choose schooling. Some of them were asked by their parents to take care of their younger siblings because their parents need to work. They prefer to feed their hungry stomach than to learn. For this reason, the child is not developmentally ready to learn. Students with weaknesses in phonological awareness will have difficulty developing these skills, which will impact their ability to develop beginning reading skills. Such students do not understand the alphabetic principle of mother tongue and fail to develop adequate decoding, letter to sound, skills for reading or decoding, sound to letter, skills for spelling. They may be unable to produce good invented spellings because they do not have the requisite skills necessary to segment words into sounds and map those sounds onto the appropriate letters. Such students tend to rely on their knowledge of words memorized as sight words and attempt to read new words based on the context or by guessing based on the partial letter cues, such as the first and last letters of the word. Parents are too busy working for their living, thus making them less involved in the schooling for their children. Children lack supervision, support, and guidance in their studies. The intervention strategy that we will implement for this project will address the 3 probable causes discussed above. Part 3. Generation of alternative solution. Paired reading is a simple but effective technique for helping struggling readers to increase their reading fluency and accuracy in text. Paired reading is a research-based fluency strategy used with readers who lack fluency. In this strategy, students read aloud to each other. When using partners, more fluent readers can be paired with less fluent readers. Children who read at the same level can be paired to read a story they have already read. Paired reading can be used with any book, taking turns reading by sentence, paragraph, page, or chapter. Students are divided into pairs and read along together or take turns reading aloud to each other. Pairs can have the same reading ability or can include more fluent readers with a less fluent readers. Here are the steps in paired reading. Begin by introducing students to the paired reading strategy. This includes 1. Establishing a routine for students to adapt so that they know the step-by-step requirements for engaging in paired reading. Will they read loud simultaneously? Will they take turns with each person reading a paragraph, a page, or will one person read while the other person listens? Number 2. Teaching students an error correction procedure to use when supporting each other's reading. It is rereading misreads words, signals for difficulty. Number 3. Modeling the procedure to ensure that students understand how to use the strategy. Number 4. Pairing students either by the same reading ability or by high-level readers with low-level readers. Number 5. Ask students to begin reading in pairs and adjust reading speed and reading simultaneously so they stay together. Students should offer feedback and praise frequently for correct reading. Number 6. Monitor and support students as they work. You may wish to take notes about how each student is reading as the way to keep track of development and progress. Part 4. Plan of action. A. Project objective. To improve the reading level of grade 1 in mother tongue using the paired reading technique. B. Target subjects. The subject of this action research are the grade 1 pupils of BAMBAN Elementary School. C. Research design. This action research utilizes the single group pre-test and post-test design. One group of participants is pre-test and the dependent variable and the post-test after the intervention has been administered. Reading level in mother tongue was a dependent variable identified while the intervention is the paired reading. D. Time frame of activities. The Table 1 shows the activities to be done as well as their corresponding dates of completion.
Activity 2. Making a learning environment safe and conducive. Intended learning outcomes. At the end of this activity, the FS student must be able to achieve the following intended learning outcomes. Identify practical and feasible classrooms, routines, and procedures in learning. Evaluate appropriate educational intervention in creating safe and conducive learning. And acquire higher concept of learning strategies in establishing own procedures. The teacher that we interview is Ma'am Julie Ann M. Martinez, Teacher 3. She is 9 years in service. She also 9 years in teaching in the grade level. Type of school is public. She managed her classroom is to demonstrate the ideal behavior, teach the pupils how to act properly in the classroom environment, allow the pupils to establish classroom rules. Discussing classroom rules to the pupils allow them to weigh the do's and don'ts of classrooms. She make her lesson plan relevant to all. Make learning fun and interesting. If the pupils enjoy themselves and interested in their actions, they are more likely to pay attention and action information. Correct reasoning with the real-world setting. If the pupils' learning applies to their own lives, they'll be more likely to be interested and pay attention. She engaged her students in all learning activities. Use pupils' interests and fascinations. Find out what the pupils are passionate about and then use those interests as natural motivation to increase engagement. Teach pupils self-monitoring skills. When children are taught to regulate their behavior and work independently, they develop habits to help them succeed and free to operate more flexibly in their classroom. Based from our observation, how is a typical classroom structured? Based on our observation during our field study, the distinction is that students in school are required to be physically active. Students can participate in discussion via projector during lessons at a specific time. Based from our observation, how do students communicate or interact during classes? They can raise their hands so that they can express their opinion or answer freely and clearly with self-confidence. What classroom routines and procedures did you observe, and how could you apply it to promote essential learning? Good classroom management goes in hand with student discipline. Educators from experience need to continue practice good classroom management to reduce student behavior problems. What is the effect to the learners if the teacher creates a safe and conducive learning environment? The effect of the learners of teachers creates a safe and conducive learning environment is to feel motivation to do right thing, to make unity, encourage higher level of students' performance, and motivates students. We have our rules and regulations. Being active. When the teacher is discussing a lesson, you can participate. Raise your hand if you want to speak or recite. Respect when you're talking to your teacher. Being responsible. Put the things into proper places. Wear your school uniform to avoid unrespectful dress. Being friendly to avoid illness and fighting within the school. As we would be a teacher, we can make the environment safe and conducive to learners, to give positive comments to each other, no favoritism, and equal dealing. Do not show that you are not interested in what you thought. Show that you are happy with what you are doing. Give support, encouragement, and cooperation. For respect, you will be professional for good communication, and lastly, you can motivate your students.
Activity 3 is titled Focusing on Creating My Classroom Learning Management Plan. At the end of this activity, we, the FS students, must be able to achieve the following intended learning outcomes. Number 1, explain the components of learning management plan and its importance. Number 2, identify the best practices in creating effective learning management plan. And number 3, promote behavioral, social, and academic success in a structured environment that caters tolerance, exemplary behavior, and learning. These are the results of our interview. Questions based on the result or data of your interview. Are you going to apply or adopt those best practices? Yes, because our interviewee has been teaching for a long time. She already knows what are the best practices for the child's benefit. Is there a meaningful effect of a well-planned classroom management in achieving a productive study environment? Yes, a well-planned classroom management improves students' academic achievement, engagement, and acquisition of desired behavior, resulting a productive study environment. Our analysis. Question number 1. What is the set of ideas, values, beliefs, and goals on learning management? Everyone respect each other's beliefs, values, and culture to maintain peace in the classroom. Everyone must be fair, set clear and fair expectations, maintain positive attitude, be patient with students, and regularly assess their learning. Question number 2. What criteria or standards will you set to judge the quality of the classroom learning environment? Educational standards, because it defines what students in each grade level should know and be able to learn. To implement standards-based learning, educators must articulate specific learning objectives and define what students should know and be able to know. Create. Question. How will you design your classroom to create an appropriate and effective learning environment? When students walk in, they are greeted by the vibrant colors on the walls, natural lighting from the windows, and an inviting sensation as they glide along the carpeting. They feel safe and welcome as they make their way to their seats in a large circle of tables. They can see their classmates as they face each other and look from wall to wall at colorful posters depicting maps, art, famous people, presidents, different cultures, and students' works. Our reflection. Question number 1. What classroom rules and procedures will you formulate to ensure discipline and order in your class? How will you ensure safety and security of your students? The classroom rules and procedures that we will establish in our class are as follows. Be on time, on task, and prepared to learn every day. Respect the teacher, the classroom, the students, and themselves. Be responsible for their own learning and keep hands, feet, and objects to themselves. To ensure the safety and security of my students, will develop a classroom policy or set of rules. Number 2, what strategies will you employ for rewards and consequences? We will use the following strategies for rewards. We will set achievable and measurable class behavior goals and explain to them why we are giving that reward. We plan to use the following strategy for consequences. We will establish classroom rules and students who do not follow the rules will face consequences.
Good day everyone, I am Mahales de Labuyan and I am here to present to you our activity 4 entitled Writing My First Lesson Plan. And at the end of this learning activity, the FS student should be able to describe the different parts of a lesson plan using a specified model, construct a lesson plan aligned to his or her specialization using the existing basic education curriculum, revise a lesson plan based on the comments or suggestions given by the mentor or instructor, cite challenges encountered in writing lesson plans, and reflect on the feedback received for the improvement of teaching practice. A lesson plan is a teacher's compendium of what students need to learn and how it will be done effectively during the class time. It also involves designing and incorporating appropriate learning activities and strategies to obtain substantive feedback on student learning. A well-constructed lesson plan prepared by a teacher for a particular lesson allows him or her to enter the classroom with more confidence and the greater possibility of having engaging activities that will result in a meaningful learning experience with students. In this segment of learning experience, you will be exposed to various activities that allows you to examine different lesson plan, exemplars and its parts, and an opportunity to construct your own lesson plan. Activity 4, Draw Me Out Part 1. Questions. Number 1. What do you observe about the format of the lesson plans presented to you? The format of the lesson plan that is presented to us is the new format or the DepEd Order number 42 of 2016. There is no longer the format that there is a teacher and a learner activity. Number 2. Describe the part of each lesson plan model. Objectives. Lesson plan objectives are a statement that describe the expected learning outcomes of the learners at the end of the lesson. Content. This pertains to the subject matter that the lesson aims to teach. Learning resources. List of resources that the teacher used to deliver the lesson. Procedures. It details the steps and activities that the teachers and learners will do during the lesson towards achievement of the lesson objectives. Remark. Teacher shall document specific instances. Reflection. It should be filled with outright after the delivery of the lesson. Activity 4, Draw Me Out Part 2. Request for a lesson plan exemplars in your respective specialization from your cooperating teacher. Examine and describe how each part was written. Objectives. It describes the kind of content, knowledge, and processes teachers hope their students will learn from instruction. Content. It is the topic or subject matter pertains to the particular content that the lesson focuses on. Learning resources. It is intended for the teachers to log the references and other learning resources that the teacher will use for the lesson. Procedures. Teachers need to ensure that the procedures of the lesson lead to the achievement of the stated objectives. Remarks. Teachers shall indicate special cases, including but not limited to continuation of lesson to the following day. Reflection. Teachers are required to reflect on and assess their effectiveness. Analysis. Number 1. From a model, which part do you think is easy and difficult to construct? For me, the learning resources is the easiest part to construct because there are too many sources available today, including internet, TG, IMs, Moodle, etc. The objective is the most difficult part to construct because it needs to be in line with the topic, your activities, content, and your assessment. If your objectives are out of line, your lesson plan will be useless. Number 2. What teaching method is used in each plan? Why did you say so? Student-centered learning is the method in teaching used in each plan because students are encouraged to take on active role in the classroom rather than taking part in more passive activities and listening to reduce or writing an array. Number 3. Describe the congruence of the lesson plan from the intended learning outcomes to the supporting activities and assessments. Aligning activities and assessments reduce waste time by allowing students to focus on skills that are relevant to the learning outcomes or objectives. By providing a table for the module, instructors can ensure that the course objectives are clearly defined at the start of the program.
I'm Cesar Barranquilla, the presenter of Activity 5. Delivering my lesson on selection and utilization various teaching aids. Intended learning outcomes. At the end of this activity, the FS student must be able to achieve the following intended learning outcomes. Number 1. Determine the appropriateness of teaching aids to teaching and learning. Number 2. Identify the use and importance of various digital and non-digital teaching aids. And number 3. Promote active participation of learners and teachers using various digital and non-digital teaching aids. Utilization of teaching aids in the classroom. Team teaching demonstration. Subject matter: 4 basic shape. Non-digital and digital teaching aid utilize printed picture and video clip or TV. Strengths: it makes teaching visually appealing and relevant to the learner. The learner can follow the discussion and learn new information quicker. Weaknesses: pupils who has low level of visual literacy, they cannot recognize the picture easily. The pupils are watching with no comprehension because they are focusing on the image that they are watching. Comment on appropriateness of non-digital and digital teaching aids utilizes during your demonstration. It makes learning more interactive, but it should be bigger for the better view of learner. Using video clip can help learners remember information for a long time and can follow the discussion. Analysis. Now, question number 1. Did the non-digital and digital teaching aids you utilize reflect the interest of the students? Why or why not? Yes, because nowadays pupils are literate on how to use technology, especially when it comes to their school activity. They are active and easier to catch their attention and interest using non-digital and digital teaching aids. It also brings to the pupils learn on their own and explore various applications that are related. Question number 2. Did your group encounter difficulties in utilization of the non-digital and digital teaching aids? If so, what your group should have done to manage such? No, we were very excellent at utilizing technology in her teaching. She used different teaching techniques and delivered to her class as well. The teacher also prepared motivational activities that were relevant to the lesson to keep the attention of the class. Question number 3. Overall, were the non-digital and digital resources you utilize effective? Why or why not? Yes, because even though it comes delayed, the teacher explained well her lesson that learners follow the instruction easily and execute excellently. If your group has the chance to demonstrate, what enhancement and or replacement will you do on your utilized teaching aids? Present your new non-digital and non-digital teaching aids. I think our demonstration is great, and if given a chance to redemonstrate, the enhancement we will do is to boost more our confidence, and that's all. If you will teach what your group demonstrated in a virtual classroom, what plan, strategy, and digital application would you use? How would you manage and utilize digital application and web application in your virtual classroom? Applying digital application to the things they are learning is a great way for students to display their individual creative talent as well as showcase their learning. Class time can be used to encourage brainstorming session. In this session, students are free to be creative and express their ideas without being stigmatized. For giving wrong answer, respect each student individually and needs for creative expression. Help them flourish as learner.
Good day everyone, I'm Joanne De Labuyan and I'm here to present you our FS2 Activity 6 entitled Grading System and Different School Forms. At the end of this learning activity, the FS students should be able to identify the school forms, its purpose and uses, download and fill out sample DP school form, and do sample computation of grades using the DepEd assessment criteria. Direction: list the form to be accomplished. Kindly indicate the use or purpose of accomplishing them. Number 1. SF1 School Register Description, Master List of Class Enrollment to be prepared by Class Advisor, Model of Preparation, LIS, and Schedule 6. SF2 Learner's Daily Class Attendance, Description, Recording of Attendance, Absence, or Tardiness. Template with name of learners to be prepared by Class Advisor, made of preparation partially through LIS and manual, and schedule daily. Number 3, SF3, Book Issued and Returned, Description, List of Book to be prepared by Class Advisor, made of preparation partially through LIS and manual, and schedule beginning of school year and end of school year. SF4, Summary Enrollment and Movement of Learners, Description, Enrollment Count transferred in, out, and drop out by grade level to be prepared by school head, made of preparation, LIS, and schedule monthly. SF5, Report on Promotion, Description, List of Promoted retained by class to be prepared by Class Advisor, Mode of Preparation, LIS, and schedule end of school year. SF6, Summary Report on Promotion, Description, Number of Promoted retained by grade level to be prepared by school head, Mode of Preparation, LIS, and schedule end of school year. SF7, Inventory of School Personnel, Description, List of school personnel with busy profile and teaching load assignment to be prepared by school head, Mode of Preparation manually, originally designed in Human Resource Information System, HRIS, and schedule beginning of school year and as needed. SF8, Learner Basic Health and Nutrition Profile, Description, per assessment of body mass index to be prepared by Class Advisor, MAPI teacher, Mode of Preparation, LIS, and schedule beginning of school year and end of school year. SF9, Learner's Progress Report Card, Description, Individual Academic, Behavioral, and Attendance Report by Quarter to be prepared by Class Advisor, Mode of Preparation manual, schedule quarterly. SF10, Learner's Permanent Academic Record, Description, Individual Academic Record by Quarter and Site to be prepared by Class Advisor, Mode of Preparation manual, schedule end of school year. Analysis: answer the following questions. Number 1, which is easier to do? Manually compute the grade of the student or the use of e-class record? Why? The use of e-class record is easier. It won't consume a lot of time since you'll just need to weight, score, and numbers. Then the Excel word will solve it in its own. Number 2, it is important to employ a systematic approach in computing the grades of students. Justify your answer. Yes, it will handle the complexity in your analysis. You will not simplify the reality. It understands from following a step-by-step instructions. Number 3, why is there a need to accomplish different score forms? For us to distinguish a proper class form in organizing our data, the process of evaluation, protocols, and conduction of forms will ensure the quality of information and the learners will gain. Number 4, when are the different school form needed to be accomplished? Why? It is conducted at the end of every school year to monitor the given activities and data as it serves on the preparation of taking the gained lesson. Number 5, what will happen if the school form are not accomplished on the specific schedule? There is a schedule date in DepEd Order Number 25, 2017 on the school calendar of activities by means of must accomplish the school form on the specific schedule. Number 8. Number 1. Generate your own data. Do a sample computation of a student's grade using the DepEd assessment criteria in your respective specialization. Number 2. Download and print the DepEd form listed above. Familiarize yourself by accomplishing the form with at least 15 names as learners. following questions. Number 1. If you are a teacher, what approach will you use to systematically compute the grade of your students? Why do you prefer that approach? If I were a teacher, I would rather use a classroom report to compute the grades of my students because it is reliable, easy to access, and updated. Number 2. Which of the different school form is the easiest to accomplish? Why? The simplest school form to accomplish is the SF5, also known as the Report of Promotion and Achievement, because you will just put here the final average of your student and at the end of the school year. Number 5. What will happen if the school form are not accomplished on specific schedule? There is a schedule date in DepEd Order number 25, 2017 on the school calendar of activities by means of once accomplished the school form on the specific schedule.